Is this the biggest bargain in vintage hi-fi?
Don't you feel like trying something new?
Hey, welcome to Lancaster Hi-Fi. I wanted to share with you today what may be the most underrated, underappreciated, and low-priced, top-of-the-line, silver-faced, 70s, big three makes receiver. This is the Sansui 881, and this was top-of-the-line for Sansui in 1974. The XX1 series came after the Sansui 8, which also included, I think, the 7 and the 6, and to some degree would have overlapped a little bit with the Sansui 8 being top of the line. But this was their top of the line in the series following that. This one was a true bargain for me because I got it for free. It didn't work, but all it needed was a couple of resistors to be replaced. There are two fusible resistors in here. One, I think it was on the preamp board, and then another one on the phonostage board. Both of those fusible resistors had failed open, and so those circuits weren't getting any power, and so it didn't work. But those are really cheap to replace once I found them. And that's all I've replaced in here. Although I may have replaced the filter capacitors. I can't remember, I'd have to look inside. It sports lots of inputs. It's got 2 tape inputs, 2 aux inputs, and it's got a phono preamp. It's got, of course, AM and FM. It's got a lovely dial face, although the lights might still need some work. I thought I'd gotten those all ship-shape. It's not super attractive up here on the case, which you can't see, but I sure can. It's got a vinyl wrap instead of a wooden veneer. So in that respect, it maybe loses out to something like the Pioneer SX828, which would have been one of its big competitors. On the other hand, I think it comes in with more power than the SX828. It's 63 watts per channel. And it's got a really nice sound. Let's check it out. But check this out. Okay, so the aux input sounds pretty good. What about the phono preamp? Well, let's check that out too.
Landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the skies and see. I'm just a poor boy beneath those things, because I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Anywhere the wind blows doesn't really matter to me, to me. Mama,
Now, I know you're just hearing this through YouTube, so you might have to take my word for it. This is a nice sounding receiver. And man, with that loudness button kicked in and the bass through those JBL woofers back there, boom, in the chest, man. This is a nice receiver. Again, gets seemingly very little respect, but it can be had for, $600 or less, which I think is a real bargain for a top of the line, 60 something watt per channel receiver from 1974. Fuck yeah, man. One thing that it doesn't have that I really wish it did is it doesn't have pre-out main-in jacks on the back, so you can't separate preamp and main amp that way. But, I could live with that if this were just my receiver up in my living room. I could also live with the vinyl wrap on the top and the sides if it were up in my living room, because up in my living room, all you can see, where I have my receiver now, which is a Marantz 2252, all you can see is the face of it. I'm really thinking about subbing this into my main system upstairs, taking out the 2252, maybe just to do some work on it, but, if I like this one a lot, that Marantz is worth a lot of money. And this one, not as much. So if I like the sound in comparison, this might be a keeper. So I wanted to just share that this new knowledge that I have. I was completely unaware of this line of Sansui. Never really, maybe I was vaguely aware of it, but I'm not sure. It certainly is overshadowed by the, sort of 9090 that came after, which had a lot more power. And of course the G9000 after that, which had a lot more power. I was just checking for sold prices on eBay. A couple went for 600, one for 500, but then there were some that went for quite a bit less than that, perhaps not in tip-top working condition. Seems to me when I had checked previously, there were some that sold for, in the 300 to 400 range. Man, if you could get one for that, that'd be a real bargain. It's a beautiful receiver. I've done quite a bit of cosmetic work to it. I did quite a bit of polishing on this metal. This frame here is a piece of solid cast aluminum. It's got this grain in it that is really difficult to get good and shiny and polished. So I put a lot of polishing work on that, and I repainted the black part of that with matte black spray paint. And that was a trick to use masking tape to mask all the bits that aren't black, as you might imagine. But this is a nice receiver. Anyway, just saying. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe. Leave me a comment. What's your favorite top of the line 70s receiver? What's your favorite Sansui receiver? Have a great one, everybody, and I'll talk to you later.